Well, we want to talk about some of the potential solutions to this crisis that we're at in our democracy.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some guys with a bunch of great ideas. And Mehdi Hassan, like I appreciate the work Mehdi does on MSNBC. I think he's one of the better folks. There's frankly a couple people that have shows there. I don't know the names of all of them, but they seem okay. I do like Mehdi's work most of the time. And here he has on former Governor Christine Todd Whitman. She is Forward Party co-chair. And well, actually, I should just poll you guys. What have you heard about Forward Party? Are you guys as excited as I am?
Oh, this is gonna fix everything, right? We have a party that saw a meme about this today, but thinks capitalism is more important than democracy, and Democrats think no, they're equally as important. So we need to find a way to stave a middle ground, to create a middle ground between those two parties.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, yeah.
I mean, as like any centrist movement is completely incoherent, but like personally, like I'll never forget, and I do hold the Yang movement responsible for this. One day I was doing work in a coffee shop when I was still in New York for TMBS, and we were doing a segment against Yang's like really horrendous UBI. So I was watching Yang videos, and this guy comes from across the being like, and pulls out a Forward hat from his backpack, and like I'm in the club with him and had like the worst conversation with this guy for like 10 minutes. So on that,
I was the math hat. You mean the math hat?
Oh, the math
right?
hat. Sorry,
that's
the math
probably
hat.
worse.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a great tweet from somebody in the Forward Party saying, I was hoping I could find it, but it's like, look, all the new energy in the Forward Party is great. So what if some people that are joining the Forward Party aren't pro-UBI? What should you do about that? Organize even harder for the Forward Party for the people who are pro-UBI. And it's like, this is imaginary, though. like do that in either the GOP or the Democrats, or like at some kind of but this is on a national level, this is just imaginary.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, anyways, sorry. My mouse is
you're getting Matt nervous, man.
Well, let's go. I mean, they have former Governor Christine Todd Whitman.
Oh man, right? Yeah.
So let's hear what she says. An expert at the executives in politics. You got to have a lot of like command of detail and stuff like that. Let's see Mehdi ask her about Forward Party.
You mentioned that you're bringing different people in. It feels like the Forward Party is a place where moderate, non-MAGA Republicans, such as yourself and David Jolly, can find a new home. But it's not really a place for moderate Democrats, because moderate Democrats already have a home in a normal, non-extremist Democratic Party led by a moderate Joe Biden. I mean, are there any top moderate Democrats in your new party? It feels very Republican heavy. I mean, there's Andrew Yang, but he never held an elected position as a Democrat. He ran for president, lost, ran for mayor, lost, then quit the party. You don't actually have any top Democrats in your movement, do you?
Yes, actually we do, but you have to go to the website because there are so many there that you'll see that
Can you name one?
I can't, just because I'm terrible with names and I've got it all. I can go to it if you'd like me to. I can put on my glasses and summon it up. But yes, there are.
I'm just wondering who's the most prominent former Democrat in your party who's elected official, because Andrew Yang ain't it.
We have a former Democrat congressman who ran for president. We have a former Democrat congressman who was a military officer. There are a number of former Democrats who are part of this organization. I just happen to be someone who's terrible with names. I couldn't even name you all the Republicans that are on the list, but we have them, and believe me, we're getting more.
Well, that is exciting.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, this isn't going anywhere other than extending Yang. Like, because remember, like Yang's whole career sort of comes out of his ability to market himself as a reformer and a forward thinker. His organization, I forget the name, that sort of set up high achieving college students in underdeveloped, economically disadvantaged cities. And by the way, we're talking about like Las Vegas, cities like that. Was an absolute disaster. They have like no real, examples of success. Most of the people did the amount that they had to legally and then they moved to San Francisco, New York City, or Atlanta, or wherever, right? And the pressure that was put on them was immense, and had some like really disastrous results. But like but during that time, like Yang gets honored by the Obama administration for coming up with new solutions. But the fact is that Yang doesn't really understand the fundamental problems. The fact that this is a guy who is live tweeting himself, like reading Civil War history, like he did recently, where he was talking about Abraham Lincoln starting a new third party, and how exciting that was. And everyone's like, please read the next chapter.
Sorry.
Like, this is not somebody who's a very this is not somebody who has the kind of political chops to lead any kind of movement, let alone a political movement that is as incoherent as this, which is why what I'm saying is that like Yang is somebody who's saw that he had like a little bit of star power before even he ran for president, found running for president as a great opportunity to increase, his name recognition across the country, then ran an absolutely disastrous campaign for mayor of New York City. This is just another example to keep, because he can't run for any more offices for a little bit at least. This is a good way to sort of keep him relevant. He's speaking at Trib Fest here in Texas in a month, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but it just shows that like that's like the end goal, right? Is like getting invited to media events like that, so you can be asked questions by journalists as if you're a very important, notable figure.
Who said the Abe Lincoln thing? Yang?
Yeah, Yang was like live tweeting himself, like reading through American history. I'd have to like recap to get all the details right, but he was very confused basically about the birth of the Republican Party and what was going to come next.
Yeah, not originally a centrist party. My understanding of history was that
the radical Republicans were a place for Americans to come together.
Hey,
middle of the road policies.
People are just tired of all the fighting on all sides. Like, let's come together and abolish slavery. Like, I don't think that's quite how that party emerged. I think that's more like the Whigs. Man, that's really.
He wishes they were the Whigs.
Yeah, like you're not even the Whigs. You're like.
Well, it's a way to make money. I mean, clearly, Christine Todd Whitman hasn't been in politics for a long time. I forget when she left office in New Jersey. I mean, I must have been pretty young because I grew up in that state, and I'm just forgetting actually what the sequencing was. But regardless, it is interesting to me that Yang has staked this position, because I feel like he's lost all defenders, because as you said, David, like the illusion is over that UBI is this transformative policy proposal, because he never marketed it as an addition or as a supplement to Medicare, to Medicaid, to Social Security, or as an additive to Medicare for all or other social policies and programs. Housing is a human right, things that we advocate for seriously on the left. He argued for it as a replacement. And that is not a serious position. It's actually really just a way to divert public funds that people pay into back into the private sector. So, if it goes back into consumers' pockets, where does it go? It goes back into industry and to food and drink and gas and wherever people want to spend it. And that was what he sold to a lot of people. And that's why I think he's still able to make bedfellows with people, with Republicans, on this kind of, vanity project grift thing. It's no better than the People's Party. It's just got a few more established figures and famous faces. They're just trying to remove you from your money for their own ability to get into cocktail functions and conventions and things like that.
Well, totally. Forward Party was at least running candidates, unlike People's Party.
They have that.
They're running they're
or endorsed
people to buy super chats on YouTube, but just 100%, I just want to remind folks, in case this gets out to people who aren't familiar with these arguments, like the criticisms of Andrew Yang's UBI is not that working people don't need more money. Right. It's twofold. It's one, that the way his UBI set up was to be a negative, right? So it comes at the expense of social policies. And two, here's the more radical anti-capitalist critique, is in a situation where wages are just precipitously like declining, and capital is taking up more and more profit. Capitalists like ideas like UBI because they need to have a consumer base in this country. So the idea of the UBI is something to, pump up some money in people's pockets while not affecting the profit margin of corporations, right? Remember, if you're a worker, you go to work every day and you do something that creates value, that your boss and that corporation then profit off of. And the socialist critique of that is that workers shouldn't be taking the bare minimum from the value that they're creating. They should be taking the entirety of it. So Yang is like not a solution in any kind of real sense. It's actually trying to find a way to make a broken system continue. And the thing is, like, UBI stuff, is not even like a crazy idea on the far right. Milton Friedman, like the king of right-wing economics, had a concept called helicopter money, right? A little bit less targeted than UBI, but the idea effectively was, it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but effectively the policy would be you just throw money out of a helicopter every once in a while so people have a little bit more money in their pocket, to sort of deal with the fact that, yes, under capitalism, there are winners and losers, and there are a few winners and very many losers. So you have to have a system that sort of puts money in people's pockets to maintain the system, or else the entire thing will collapse. And they hate the welfare state on the right, even though that is a huge part of the reason that the American system and the European system hasn't collapsed, in the past 50, 60 years. And like UBI is like a little bit nicer version of creating a system like that, where like, let's not deal with the fact that all these corporations are just sucking up all the profits and the value that they're taking from us from our labor. Let's give everybody $1,000. People will be happy because it takes a little bit of stress off their backs, and let landlords take the extra money in the form of rents or higher food prices or whatever.
It was always, you have to couple it with decommodification of essentials, because who did your $2,000 go to? It went to your fucking landlord.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The very first month it went to them, right? Like, no.
Yeah, right. Or you could do UBI plus housing assistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I totally left out landlords, but sorry to cut you off, Matt.
No. I mean, that's it. Is like, we did a joke in Chicago, which is like, the PAC for Andrew Yang would be called like landlords for UBI, because they're going to be flush, and there are certain people who are parasites, and until which just means rentiers, I guess, that'd be an easy way to say that just get money for owning stuff. I mean, there's an article, I can't find it, but I printed it out. It drove me crazy. I thought about putting it on a list, but it was like self-care by being a landlord.
Yes, that was a good one.
And
Did you see this one, Emma? This was in the New York Times.
I'll send it to you. Maybe we'll talk about it later in the week or something. But it was like these women saying, like, yeah, things got really stressful. I had a divorce, and it was really nice to have 21 properties in my portfolio, so I didn't have to work somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. I mean, I guess that's what like that Trudy Bush, Nancy Pelosi fans, doing. But yeah.
Yeah, just buy up some more condos to rent to people. That's like something actionable for a lot of people, I would guess, right?
Yeah, it's like I was down on my luck, so I bought property in Montana and started renting it out. It's like, man, that's some empowerment, and it's like, and I felt so empowered. It's like, yes, you did, you were empowered. That is American government, as they say in Matt Crispin's Hell of Presence, free real estate. The Tim Heidecker thing. Like you're welcome. Thank Custer for that. But
we're in late stage capitalism when people like that are doing that kind of self-care as opposed to just going to a spa.
You're right. Yeah. You can just buy some spas and start making money off them. But like you said, like that's the problem with UBI is it's great, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great that Biden gave us Trump and Biden gave us that money. They should do that more often. But structurally, you're going to have problems like this until you deal with the people who are just immediately hoovering that up. Well, guys, should we go over to the post game? Emma, what do you think? Can you
I'm down
stick around for a little bit?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
course,
sounds awesome.
yeah.
I think that's perfect. Yeah, let's do
I knew I would as soon as we got into our conversation, I'd be down to go into.
Well, I saw Emma just took that
glass
drink
of wine.
and I've gotten really thirsty.
Oh, there we go, Matt.
But yeah,
I texted Matt and I said, I'm down to talk about this if I have a glass of wine. So that was my signal to you that I was going to definitely hang out for the post game.
Well, secret
Matt, do you
message
mind
received.
previewing it a little bit then for folks?
Yeah, so there was a clip of a debate for, is this District 21 here in New York?
59.
59.
For some, District 21 might be Alexis. Well, I'll just put it bluntly, Nomiki Konst challenged Kirsten Gonzalez to sign some kind of pledge. And I guess we'll have some comments about that and the advisability of such a tact. So patreon.com/Left Reckoning. Also, a lot of people got mad that we talked about this last time behind the paywall. So for the folks that were mad, like particularly the pro-Nomiki folks, we'll probably unlock that one and for everybody. So, your wishes I command. Anything you have to say, David?
No, yeah, jump over at patreon.com/Left Reckoning. Thursday, I'll be going live for a Griscom stream. I'm going to talk a little bit about this new climate deal. So be sure to keep your eye out for that. And this video essay hopefully will come out this week on the post-Bernie, post-Corbyn left, building off of some stuff from Leo Panich. And merch next week, folks. I'm sorry it's been delayed so long, but soon.
Yeah,
I've seen some of it. Matt was wearing it the other day, and I got to say, it's pretty great. People should.
That's big, yeah, exactly. It's a big endorsement. I do wear that tank top basically every single day just because it's so unbearably hot. Yeah. Anyways, folks, patrons, we'll see you in about 5-10 minutes.
Sounds good.
The post game. Peace out.
See you later.